So, have you ever taken a trade and immediately after taking the trade went against you and never gave you any profit? Well, in this video, I am actually going to be breaking down a trade of a student and taking a look at the journal for this trade, the journal entry for this trade, and explaining a few things that you might be able to do in your own trading that could stop you from doing this. I am also going to be sending a newsletter edition of this exact trade where I go into even further detail. Yes, I'm actually going in further detail than on the video on the newsletter on this exact trade. So if you want more information about this trade as well from the student, definitely take a look at the link in the description of the video and check it out if it is you like this style of content. If you like the video, obviously subscribe to the channel and hit like for me, ring the bell so that you do not miss when I post a next video. Let's get into it. So, first things first, we have to take a look at this information that I have tried to capture. It's just a preliminary kind of thing I'm testing, right? So, let's take and he normally trades this asset class. His entry price was 1.07011, and his directional bias was bearish, right? Which would make sense temporarily at least because your USD was bearish prior to that, which is good. His execution type was a market execution, and he normally uses a market execution, so that's good. This is good data. He used a stop loss, which is also good, and his stop loss was 1.07368. The stop loss size added up to about 35 pips or so, and his lot size was 0.14. His risk percentage was 0.5% of his entire account, and it was not considered a revenge trade. He doesn't consider it to be a revenge trade, which is good. It did end up losing by the trade hitting his stop loss, and he believes it's because he got the direction wrong. He's neutral about that, and the trade did not margin call the account because obviously he's risking the right amount, right? The There's no drawdown on this trade because drawdown would really only be taken into account when you win the trade but had to battle with price being against your position before going into profit. And the closing risk reward ratio of this trade would be 1 to point 0. Oh, sorry, 1 to 0 because he did not get a reward from this trade. He lost $50. You can do the math, and he lost 0.50% of the account because that is what he risked. He entered the trade around 3:05 p.m. New York, but I'm not quite sure exactly. This is how I'm putting it based on the information that I gathered from the student. And he normally enters trades around this time. The trade ended up being stopped out at 2:28 a.m., which is in Asian. The trade lasted around 14 hours and 23 minutes, and it was taken on the 15th. It's a Tuesday, I believe, so that will be somewhere. I think I have it early, but that's fine, right? And the trader is normally on time, and he thinks he's too early, but he's normally on time. But here's the real kicker for this: he used news as a catalyst to enter. That is a problem. I've said this once, I'll say it again. You'll probably hear me say it 1,000 times before I pass away, right? Profitable traders do not trade news. I used to trade news events long ago, and I realized, lo and behold, it doesn't make sense to try to trade it. Even though I have been right 9 out of 10 times, it's not worth it. It really isn't, right? He didn't like that decision that he used the news as a catalyst to enter very much, and he did absolutely take it near a news event. He explained that he thought the drop would have been carried out by the news. He didn't know which news event it was, right? He just knew that it was a news event. Now he uses a momentum-based strategy, and he's understanding about 9 out of 10 of this strategy. He normally uses this strategy as well, and he believes that it would have been effective for this trade, and he believes that this trade would have been a five-star trade. He felt neutral before and going into the trade, and he normally feels like this. He's placed more importance on the elements of the trade itself, such as the analysis, the execution, and the management, but he doesn't think that he gave these elements the attention that they deserve. He doesn't feel like the trade was a lot of work, but he does feel that he was influenced by the news release, and he feels not too good about that. He said that the trade was not taken out of desperation, meaning he doesn't need money now, right? But he did intend for the trade to be a swing, and he normally swings trades. He was not afraid of anything going into the trade, so no FOMO or anything like that. And he kept his bearish bias throughout the duration of the trade, which is good, right? He believes he was a 6 out of 10 sure that the trade would have won, and he would like to see improvement in the effort area, meaning effort of the analysis, the execution, and the management. He took this trade on his mobile device, but he performed the analysis on his computer, which is good. He does believe this trade was worth the time and effort, but he rates the entire trade a 1 star out of 5. I personally would rate his trade 2 out of 5 stars. Now, let me explain what this is. And I'll tell you why I rate his trade a 2 out of 5. Okay, he started good. If you see here, he started good. Now, what is this? This is what I call the decision map. This is something of my own creation. And it's every single, let me actually undo this. Every single line here is a decision that the trader makes. Most journals tend to stop right around here. They stop around the time of taking the trade. But when you start to get into psychological things, they just give you like a little area to type in your notes, but they don't capture all of this information. My journal does, right? Now, every single line here, like I said, is a decision, and a decision is what will dictate your actions. Now, every move, every point here is a decision being made. So good decisions would be blue, bad decisions would be red, and neutral decisions would be white. Now, that being the case, if you see here, remember I said he rated his trade a 1 out of 5, and I'm rating his trade a 2 out of 5 because he started good. All of these things he actually had pretty good control over. Right, his risk reward, he used a stop loss, it was not a revenge trade, he had the right lot size, he does everything here in a line with what he would normally do, which is excellent. But he started to go downhill when he started to look at the news and all of these other things, right? What this is and why this is important, right? Think about it. Imagine if you can see this exact thing for every single trade that you have. Some of your trades might look exactly like this, some of them might look like that, some of them might look like this, and you get a actual visual of what your trades generally look like via the decisions you've made. Now, this is important because two things. One, every single decision in the app that I'm creating, every single decision you could tap and you would see what that decision was and how many times you've selected that decision. But don't worry, I'm not talking too much about the app that I'm creating just yet. The second reason why this is important is if you can get an actual visual of every single trade that you take and how it looks visually, you get a picture of how close you are to doing what you're supposed to do every single time. Do you agree with that? Let's take a look at what the outcome of the trade was. Like I said, he was right to have, so let me remove this. He was right to have a bearish bias temporarily because again it was pretty much bearish and it would have made sense to sell going into the market as a bearish market temporarily. But the fact that he took the trade around a news event would be problematic, right? And well, obviously he took the trade and it never gave him any profit, obviously causing him to lose the trade. That being said, this is what I really want to focus on here. I really want to focus on the decisions. It's not so much that he was wrong about his direction. He was wrong about his timing, and the timing would have been affected by the catalyst, which would be the news. You see how much more information we can take in when you look at other decisions other than things just related to the trade. Because he had a choice to say, no, there's a news event, I'm not going to take a trade here. But he didn't do that, did he? So, if you like this style of analysis, right? It's not me analyzing my own trades all the time. It's me analyzing other traders' trades as well and learning from them because guess what? I can learn from this experience as well as can you. A dumb person does not learn from their mistakes. A smart person learns from their mistakes. And a wise person learns from others' mistakes. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit like, ring the bell, like I said, and check the link in the description if it is you want to subscribe to the newsletter to get even more information and a further, more in depth, detailed breakdown of this exact trade from this trader. If you have any questions as well, you can message me. My link will be in the description as well. You can message me on Telegram. I answer the fastest there. See you guys soon. Peace out.